Okay, I'm encouraged by my friend Luke online to speak my mind about the bullies I experienced in junior high and high school. And I won't name anybody by name because that wouldn't be the right thing to do. I'll use initials. In junior high school, there was a bully, JC. He was extremely anti-Semitic, and he was allowed to say what he wanted to me. The teachers who were not really anti-Semitic did not want to get involved with that, and they just let him say these awful things to me about Hitler should have finished the job, and well, my maiden name was Chernik, and he used to call me Turnik, and he would just get away with everything. One time my mom, it wasn't like her, but she got really mad, and she did call his mother, not the father, but the mother, and she reasoned with the mother, and she said, listen, we're Jewish, I survived the Holocaust, we have 2 sick sons, and it's taking energy away from us to have to deal with this bully that's bothering our daughter. And I guess the mother did her research and knew at least about my older brother, Russell, who was in a grade higher than me, and he stopped for a while. It didn't last, and it continued. And I wish I had a voice then, but my only concern was not to make trouble for my parents. They had enough issues with my brothers. They did not want to make an issue for anything for me. I wanted them to just deal with my brothers, not worry about these things for me. In hindsight, I wish I had a voice, and it would have been worth the attention, really, to just tell this bully what I thought of him, that he was not as good as me, that I was a good student, I was well behaved, I was a good person, and he wasn't, and he acted this way to me because he wasn't a good person, and that he would end up not doing anything good with his life. So actually he ended up being a paramedic and hurting his back, and it's kind of ironic that he ended up trying to help people after everything he did with me, and then he ended up getting hurt. And I didn't know how I felt about that. He got hurt in the line of duty, and I consider paramedics to be sacred because they tried to help both my brothers. So I have to reserve judgment on whether he got what he deserved or not. I had a couple of other bullies in high school. In high school was much better. I really was not bullied the way I was in junior high school. My intellect was respected. I had more friends, and there were just a couple of people. There was this kid. He actually had a Polish name. I'm not going to say what it is. And he was a real bully. And he was a pervert as well as a bully. And he should have been expelled, to tell you the truth. He had no place in the high school. He should have been expelled. He should not have stayed. He had no worthwhile purpose, and I don't know what became of him, but I'm sure he became a bad person. He was just rotten to the core, and I don't know what happened to him. Luckily, I didn't have many of my classes. I was college prep. I'm sure he wasn't. I didn't see him in classes. I just basically saw him in a homeroom setting, and that was it. So, and I don't know what became of it, so I don't know. And the other person that I'm going to mention, she actually was Ukrainian descent. I remember her name, but I'm not going to say. She was very anti-Semitic, and what hurt me about her was that a good friend of mine was friends with her, and that was very hurtful. And I wanted to tell my friend, how can you be friends with someone like this? But I didn't do that. I didn't want to make trouble, and I didn't say anything, and I'm sure the friendship didn't last. And I actually have no contact with this girl that I was friends with. I haven't been in contact with her in years. She wasn't a bully. She had been very nice to me, but she had this friend that was an awful girl, a very terrible girl, very anti-Semitic. Every time she looked at me, you could tell how she felt about Jews. And again, I didn't tell her off. I didn't want to make trouble. I didn't want trouble for my parents. I was a good student, and I want to be remembered as a good student, not any kind of troublemaker. Because I've changed now, and I would have spoken up now, but that was my younger self, and I just was trying to get into a good college. I was trying to make things easier for my parents. I had my goals, and I didn't want to be sidetracked from my goals by these bullies, so I didn't say anything. But now I've said something, and if any of you recognize yourself, then shame on you.